I want to jump on something you touched on before, the way that Smallville has to appeal to a more mainstream audience, and the way they build the powers out slowly and so on and so forth. Not to geek out too much here, but a lot that I've seen online, people look at Silver Age Superman, the Bronze Age Superman, is a strong, powerful, confident character. Can we get there with Smallville in one season?
Yes is the short answer. I was talking to Tom the other day, and I said to him, we have a unique opportunity here, or you have a unique opportunity. This particular Clark Kent has an obsession, which we don't really attribute to Superman, we attribute that more to Batman. Obsession. What I find interesting about this, and about this particular rendition of Superman, is that he does have a great human underbelly, which was given to him by his mom, Clark Kent, and which I think John Schneider and Annette O'Toole played brilliantly. And I think that they gave him a moral code which was infinitely human. And he fought against the Kryptonian code which Jor-El was trying to give him, which I think puts him at arm's distance to who we are as a viewing public and as a people. And I am more interested in his idiosyncrasies, because I know ultimately he's got the strength and the wherewithal to handle most problems. That's not what I have to believe in. I believe in that. I believe in the altruistic Boy Scout approach of Superman. We've seen it our whole lives. I think that that's what almost killed the character, which is why they had to kill him. You know? And if you watch Doomsday and you see the behind the scenes, that's what those creators talk about. You know, they talk about, you know, having where to go, where do you go with a guy who can't die? There's only one thing on the planet that can really hurt him. You know, he's so good, he will never lie, he will never cross the line, he will never be a criminal unless Red Kryptonite's involved. And you can't always play the Red Kryptonite card, if you will. He's got to show some humanity. And I think that's what they're trying to invest in this character, so that we can follow and go along with the ride, because he's always, we will cease to be interested. You know, weekly TV is very different than monthly comics. And, you know, however many pages comics are, whether 20 pages or 30 pages, I don't know how many, that will not hold up in weekly television. You're going to lose viewers, you're going to lose audience members. So they did a smart thing, I think, in making him flawed in his moral compass, if you will. Because he's not flawed physically. He's not flawed as a Kryptonian. So you have to overlay that humanity on him and give him those struggles so that he can relate to the people he's trying to serve. And I think that's a very smart thing that they've done. I, like you, would like to see him get into it. Let's get going. And I think that's what John's role in this show is come on, man, let's get to get. There's a mission at stake here that's bigger than Lois, bigger than Lana, bigger than Lex, bigger than any of this. And you have got to accept that mantle and do what you're here to do. And I think in this season, he will start to sidle up to that more than we've seen in the past.
I just want to follow up because I agree with that. I don't want to see him so confident in his powers that he's smug or arrogant, but I don't want to see him flailing around, you know, and not dreadfully dull. A lot of Superman, I can do anything. So,
right. I think that they will strike a happy medium, if I may. And I'm not the producers or creators, but in reading the scripts that I've read, I think that that's where they're going to try to go. He's going to buck up, if you will. Yeah.
In the next season, are we going to be able to see any of the other superheroes, like Green Arrow and the others come in? Who? Just
I'm not telling you.
Include any more than like the 5 or 6 they already have.
He's not allowed to answer that question.
You know, it's my job, dog. They're taping this. You know, he's going to go right back to, you know, DC Central. You know, that Phil Morris, he's spilling the beans. Oh yeah, but yeah, it's going to be great. Watch.
Bill, there's a unique gravity here to your characterization of John Jones on Smallville. How did you come to that portrayal of the actor? Or did you work with directors on that, or did you evolve it yourself?
That's a really good question. It's been a bit of a composite, you know. I mean, I love the Carl Lumbly version in the animated series. I mean, that is such a wise and mature and kind of hand on the rudder kind of guy. And so I took a lot of that, and I've worked on that show, so I've actually worked opposite Carl as Vandal Savage in my episodes. And so there's that. There's a sense of aloneness that John has. You know, remember, he was a detective on Mars, so he's a great compassion for all beings. And I think that as an alien, he has to keep his own counsel in many ways. I think he loves the relationship now with Clark because he has somebody to bounce things off of, and vice versa. They relate to each other. And I think when you're alone in that way, you meditate in a deeper context. When your mission in life is to save and help others, there's a certain grounding you must have. And I think that's the grounding that I'm trying to go for in this character. And then as we hopefully go forward in this, and I'm able to play him as the straight John Jones detective, I'm literally hopefully going to flip the script so that in my scenes with Clark, there will be this intense nature to him. And in my scenes with other people, there will be this more casual nature, my social face, which is exactly the opposite of most cops. Most cops, when they're off in their regular life, they're like, yo, let's go get a beer. When they talk to a perp or they're talking to a victim, excuse me, man, what happened? So I'm going to try and switch that so that when I'm with Clark, there's a destiny that we both have here. When I'm dealing with a Jimmy Olsen or a Lois or somebody who doesn't know that I'm from Mars or doesn't know my backstory, I'm going to try and play it off like I'm just like, I'm going to slow down, son, what's going on?
How involved is the director in your portrayal?
Less so now because, again, I come with more information than they get. You know? And one director, actually, when I was playing, what episode was it? It was the episode where, and I don't remember the name of it, so excuse me, but I come in and I have Kara around the throat. And then, you know, we have a big confrontation, and then afterwards I'm out on the patio with him and saying, don't trust her, you know, her father tried to kill your father. And you know, every time I come on the show, it isn't casual, man. The universe is at stake. His life is at stake. The stakes are very high. And when I rehearsed the scene, it was great. You know, no problem. We're walking and talking and blocking the scene. And then we did a take, and boom, I was spot on. And the director, who admitted to me he hadn't seen my character, didn't really know who my character was, came over to me and goes, why don't you just make it more conversational? Like you're just buddies. And I went, you know, now I'm an actor. I'm paid to do a job. He's a director, so I'm trying to do what he wants as well. I tried that method. I couldn't get the words out. I kept forgetting words. I kept ruining my blocking because it was not appropriate for the character. Even though I tried to do what they wanted me to do, it just was inappropriate. So I went back to the world is at stake. Oh, that's pretty perfect. That's great. Move on. So yeah, they don't really help as much as I'd like them to.
And just in terms of feedback, I'd like to say that gravity you bring to the character really creates a nice counterpoint to everything else, and it really adds a new dimension to the show. The show is lacking before.
Thank you very much.
Do you like Oreos?
I do love Oreos. I don't eat them as much as I used to. But, oh yeah, man. And how do I eat my Oreos? I eat a whole cookie. You want to know this, right? I eat a whole cookie, the whole thing in, and I eat the whole thing. Just before it disintegrates. 7 seconds. And how many weeks does it get to the center of the
Actually, 642. I was very bored in third grade.
Depends on the flavor, I guess.